Think everything is up and running? Yep. How's it going? Robin? How's it going? I have no vocabulary right now. When Bravo. Let the gang roll in. Great, great, great. A little bit of black that is needed right here. Oh. What a time to be alive. And live. Hope everyone's doing well with the crazy weather. Cool. So let's just kind of jump into it. I'm doing. How am I doing? I'm doing great. I'm doing absolutely fine. What are we working on today? Bridges, the bridge, and the... I look so strange with this turtleneck on. Like I look like a wizard. Yes, my lord. The bridge, which is this 1-inch piece. And we're gonna talk corners. And try to get that going. I'm about to learn about the basket sea star. Celine, how's it going? Welcome. Rain, work. Rain, please work. Bridge. Corners. I think the corners are going to eat up a lot of time. So, yeah. Ah, that's what it was. That's what my brain wanted to remember. I started the stream an hour late because I wanted to try to cook food and eat before the stream rather than always eat after. We'll see how that goes. See how many people make it or don't make it to a later stream. Or if an hour later is better for everybody. So these scraps gotta get rid of. This guy's gotta get fixed. Let me throw this out. We got some free time, I can super glue some of these parts together. Get a little scrappy. Okay. We'll pretty much get this guy to the end. I see a few spots of black, so we'll start with, or I should say lack of black. Let's go here. Just touching up some of the deep crevices, making sure they are actually black. Making sure I'm holding it correctly. And we'll be good to move on from there. little touch-ups that take forever because you just gotta wait for everything to dry. Because you can't tell if it's a spot you missed or is it just glossy paint sometimes. Hey buddy, you gotta get down. He needs my attention so much. Buddy, what's wrong? Yeah? You good boy, you just want my attention? I'm busy right now, buddy. Yeah. I know. We can cuddle afterwards. Yeah. Oh, you're purring. Buddy, I gotta put you down now, okay? Come here. I'll put you on the chair. Where are you bumping into things? Come here, buddy boy. Cat. Put that there. Come on. Yeah. Come on. It's okay. The policy's getting stuck in my shirt. Okay. I tried, mister. Biggest boy. Hey, Sean. That is Mr. Civilist Professor Snape. Short, we just call him Snape. He's a big lover and a big baby. Okay, so we'll let that bridge dry and we can actually just jump right into it. I wasn't expecting this, but we'll jump right into the bridges, or the corners. Buddy, you can't be crawling over my stuff. Oh my god, mister. Buddy, I need both hands. And you don't care? Okay. It's okay, mister. Okay, so corners. No, you can't be on there. No. Okay. So corners. We got a nice set here. They're not, you know, which camera? Perfect. But that's okay. I think this will be absolutely fine. But if I grab this tile as an example, you can see how big of a corner piece this is, making really big dungeon rooms. That's the whole point of having this big of a piece. The dungeon is a big dungeon. The tests for these was to make like the first inch or first 2 inches be 2-step stairs, which actually requires me to cut the whole thing down in thirds and then just cut off excess on the top stairs. or top steps. I have to do that for all of these. Hey, Nightbot, you're working. Good. Good to know. So the reason I'm hesitant to do the step is a single really bad mistake really can destroy the entire piece because it's so specific. And because it's so big, it's much, much easier to make big mistakes. Yeah. Second reason I'm hesitant to do the stairs is when I decide to photo scan these and sell them, because they're meant to be printed 2D, I feel like the steps won't communicate well. I would have to, when photo scanning, I'd have to lay it out very specifically so that way you print and fold, print and fold. Not print and fold. Fold, cut, fold, cut. That's what I meant. Yeah. And I'm just wondering if it's worth skipping that at all. What do you think, Snape? Yeah? Is that a good idea? Huh? One of the first cameras I was going to test with is the iPhone. It's a little low in megapixels. And then I was going to test it with one of these Sonys, which is a higher megapixel count by a lot. It's like, because we're dealing with stills, you don't need a lot of photos or resolution, but you don't want to deal with hyper compression and hyper low megapixel count. You can get away with a lot by being in the middle. Yeah. Okay. My arms now. You won't let go. So yeah, should I do stairs or should I not? That is the question. I think stairs would look amazing, but if it's just not an efficient workflow for what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles plus 6 triangles per terrain type, that's tough. You get a bump on your tail, buddy. I'll put you down so that way I can work. Come on. Okay. You guys are all thinking about me. My nose itches. Okay. So we've talked about what I'm thinking. And now we just really gotta make a plan. I can use the Proxon. And if I use the Proxon, I'm just gonna carry the Proxon over here, and then we can like figure it out with our hands. I clean up a little bit. So messy. How's it going, Sneaky? We're entering a really weird phase of the crafting part. Okay. So, here is one prototype test for... Huh. There we go. One prototype test. So, if I try to communicate this the best I can. So we start with this solid 1-inch thick triangle. We would then cut that triangle in thirds the whole way through, trying to make 0 mistakes. And then we would cut the ends off here to get a good set of stairs. And I think they'll look good, because let's just put these side by side. This is definitely more interesting to look at than this, right? Plus, I can put this on top of a tile, and it's communicating information. So just make corners, no stairs. If I have to do stairs, I'll just make separate tiles down the road. Could do that. Could literally jump right into it right now if I make that that choice. That's a good choice to toss out there. Thank you. Aesthetic and difficulty or ease, and just get it done. The bane of my existence. I think, God, that's a really enticing idea. Let's do that. Let's make stairs later. You know, worst case, while I'm still using them and I don't have stairs, I can just say, Yeah, guys, you can go up here. There's a set of stairs. No problem. Or we can even get into making custom stair pieces later. Just to be compatible with these. Yeah. I'm down for that. Thank you. Well, I needed to make the decision on stream. I needed more smart people to be around my decision making. Okay. So we got 6 tiles. Let's start with lining up the grid on a triangle, and let's put the grid on all of them before we go into the details. I'm gonna get a piece that I've already made to help me mark the lines. Okay. This is great for visual reference of putting things together. Right. So my tools will be this guy. Let's switch. This tool. I'll show you a close up in a second. That tool. Not that one. This one. That's about it. Those are the tools needed. And a ruler. Great. So this is 6 on this side. 6 on that side. Roughly 8 on that side. So we'll focus on the 6s, since that's what we've been mostly working on anyway. Okay. Okay. So we'll start with this one. And then I'm using the line that I just drew to help straighten. There we go. Should line up. It's great. This time I just want to squeeze this in, make sure the bottom of the ruler is lined up as well. Good start. This is literally the first time I'm drawing the grid on a triangle, so forgive my slow pace. Yeah, that's something I actually want to experiment with, is floating islands. I've seen a couple people do some really good work making good ones out of both expensive materials and cheap materials. And it's super interesting, so I would love to find a way to make those with what I have for what I'm making. Just, I think it's doable. I think once I get super comfortable with crafting, which I'm nearly there, I feel like, what I can do is shrink and scale, as in, like, rather than doing 28mm, which is what I'm doing now, shrink down closer to 10mm scale, which is like wargaming style, or Monopoly house size. And the goal with that being, I can just make a town or a scenery piece versus a whole map that takes up an entire table. The scale of this in my hand can be an island, a really well decorated island. That'd be great to get to in confidence. And then the stream slowly evolves to me bushcrafting in the wild, like, okay, my crafting skills, they've gotten me this far. I feel like the vertical line is asking. Like, it makes sense. Okay, so this is where it's getting weird. There's a cross. That lands. That lands. That lands. Okay. So I want to make sure. Okay. Measure twice, cut once. So I'm a little on the bottom of the screen. Sorry. I need to make sure that the end of this horizontal line meets up with the corner of the vertical. And some of my marks kind of just missed that. So I just got to be careful with that. So that way these triangles are proper half triangles or half squares. See how close that is to like not working, but I got it. You can see how off my measurement for one of the dots were. I also have the results of, man, that line is off. The results of the glue test for the magnetic bridge. It takes a long time for glue to dry on XPS. I think I'm fucking this up. It sure feels like I'm messing this up. No, my measurements, my little dot measurements were just off a little bit. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so. This is super close, and the camera's just not showing it. I'm sorry, guys. Take this. Got those lines, those vertical lines. And that lines up. Great. Now I'm going to scar each of these lines. See how that line work. Slightly misses the mark with these knife cuts. Very interesting. Would marking cutting the lines go faster if you tape two triangles together? Potentially. That was the first time I did it on a triangle. We can try it on the next. It should be twice as fast. It should. Let's find out. I do have to make sure, though, that the lines meet on the edge. So we'll see how wonky this gets. Wait, literally just do it right here. That's an inch. Because yeah, that's where the line meets. So technically, if I went right there and just go to the next one, which is when the 4 meets the line. Math. When your finger moves the ruler. Okay. Now we move down to when the 4 meets the line. To when the 3 2 and the 1. Okay. Now you just gotta do that crossing. Starting on the 1. Oh my gosh. It's so different. What? That matches. Whoa. What's going on with my eyes? Okay. Trust the math. Whoa, that doesn't look right, guys. How does that not look right, but look right at the same time? Alright, let's do the verticals. Feels like it's bad. It is. Slowly becomes not 1 inch. Hang on. Is that the boy?
Yeah.
He slept on you because he couldn't get to me?
Yeah, actually. He overtook me.
Wow.
And then he joined up into my chest.
Mister.
But I was held captive.
Held captive. Where's the focus?
No problem. You making triangles today?
I'm making triangles. Very hard. There we go. Just the height. Yep. I think that's what happened. Trust the math too much versus both the math and my eyes. I think it's fine. It's negligible. I just don't want it to keep happening.
I'm gonna grind.
You're gonna grind. Go ahead. The noise canceller canceled it out perfectly.
Amazing. I was able to save their ears.
Oh, I got something to say, everybody. Hang on.
You're disconnected? Ah.
Okay. So, over the last couple days, there we go. Over the last couple days, the subscriber count for the channel has been going up, which is amazing. And we're about 40 subscribers away from passing 60,000.
Wait, it was at 100 yesterday. That's what I thought you told me. Now
Yeah.
it's just 40?
Yeah, so
That's
we've
great.
gained 60 subscribers in the last like 12, 24 hours. I hope those aren't bots. But yeah, if we can pass 60,000, that'd be amazing. What does that mean? That means we're only 40,000 away from 100,000. But the channel has been kind of stuck at 58,000 for like about a year and a half, pushing on to 2 years. So to see the channel like grow and move is really awesome. I'm really excited. And I just want to say thank you to everyone watching, whether you're watching live or afterwards. This is awesome. Thank you. Which way did I already cut it? Okay. And I know the growth, your DM video was a big hit. Yeah, the one that says AC equals initiative, that exploded. So only a lot of it has to come with the shorts have been popping off. Me consistently doing the DM videos, and then consistently doing these streams, and you guys constantly coming in, checking in, putting in your time to watch or listen, which helps YouTube go, oh, these streams are great. Could the release of Furhaven have something to do with it? Furhaven could have done it too. How is Furhaven?
Oh dear.
Furhaven's probably not doing it. It's not up there with the views, but what Furhaven did do was it was long form content that the channel hasn't dropped in a while. You know, the games. Which, if you tune in to watch Furhaven, even if we get 600 to 700 views on a game, that's 1 to 3 hours of watch time, which is a big deal, which is why it's so important to get to releasing more game videos and more game series, because that's more episodes with more watch time. But Furhaven probably did help, just not by the surface numbers.
It helped in the sense of it continued making sure that we had new stuff going on.
Yeah, it was new stuff. It was long. And people enjoyed it. We know that by the chat, the comments. So I think the thing that's holding it back is that it's an original IP. And it's like Alien, people can find it because of Alien.
We made the creators of the game though happy, and I think that like that's a huge win.
Yeah, making the creators of the game happy.
Yeah,
That is a win.
they loved it. And people said that our channel has like a diverse set of games.
Yeah, having that diversity of like horror and then kids friendly stuff.
And then just regular fantasy.
And then regular knucklehead fantasy.
Yeah.
That's the genre, guys. Don't ever think otherwise. Fantasy tabletop is actually fantasy knucklehead. Because a lot of the watch time and views of Fables of Refuge have come after the fact that it released, not right away. Sure, episode 1 and 2 got a lot of love right away, but that was different. Excuse me. Let's see if this works. Where's my phone? Here we go. So, I want to try something, guys. If I go into Fables, go to the stream, and if I type in a command for Nightbot, will it work? I think this is the command, I'm not sure. Did that work? That did not work. Yes, the early episodes were by a lot of cord reviewers. I'm gonna have to try to memorize those commands. So that means what makes that even more special is the fact that the channel getting to closer and closer to 60,000 means that the channel is growing for people who like fables more than just coming over for Corridor. It'd be great if I had a square right now. Go, let's draw those out. Says that's lined up. Yeah, that's pretty close. go. A little bit slower doing it one piece at a time, but more accurate. I'm fine with that. And this way should generally be easy because let me just keep tucking and I'm not giving you guys the angle. There we go. Because I'm trying to connect the two ends. I measure to 1. Put that on the tip. Match the line. And that is it. A little low, so let's go up. Let me make sure the 1 is lined up. Yep. Again, just a hair low. Alright. That was a perfect one. There we go. Good triangle. How do I use my hands? Guys, my brain is fried. There it goes. I see the issue. The issue is it's a triangle. I love Fables of Refuge. Big plus that is family friendly too. Slowly watch episodes. It gives me motivation to try and find online groups and play D&D. I will also play Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. Hey, put a little roleplay in Warhammer. That'd be fun. How let people talk about Warhammer the same way? I know Warhammer is less roleplay and more wargaming because I don't play Warhammer. I can see Warhammer getting super popular when Henry Cavill's show pops off. But yeah, I'm happy that Fables of Refuge is inspiration and motivation, dude. That's like really touching to hear. And it doesn't get old. The more it affects people on a good way like that, the more I feel like it's a success. So happy for you, Celine. Like, how long have you played Warhammer? discard these. There we go. Guard. Was that a whole 2? Wow. Okay, before I start putting grids on these, because we've been doing that for the last, I don't know, however long. Let's take one of these corners and make something out of it. Tools. It's been scarred, so run this through. As well. Don't cut your corners. Oh, my hand grabbed the focus. There we go. I'm gonna take my little scooper and increase the bevels that I just made. But yeah, that first little flat nose tool, really just to start the beveling on the steeper end. And these are the more shallow bevels. We're already getting little chips off of the corners. That's pretty cool. Will be your first campaign in Warhammer. Now I play my campaign in D&D, second campaign in D&D. Big plus is we play with in world created by DM, and we have a little fighting and much more exploration, investigations, and roleplay. That's cool. Yeah, fighting. I like fighting in D&D when it's like survival mode happens, right? Or things go sideways. I'm curious if I will be able to ever run a dungeon where I'll be prepared for combat, because why not? But the players are able to maneuver through the challenges in a way that they avoid the combat. Plus, you don't need that much combat in your D&D game when you got Warhammer on the side. So you get your war gaming and then you get your role playing. Get the best of both worlds. And if you're using minis, I would say get minis for Warhammer and then just use those for D&D. Because Warhammer needs armies where, tell me if I'm wrong, and D&D you just need a few pieces. Right. Let's start drawing some cracks. Get the reference photos out. Where's that coffee? There it is. I've been drinking it. I just didn't know where it was at the moment. Yep. Alright. So let's draw. First crack. I'm gonna work on that bot. It's a little too often that Nightbot has popped up. That way you can see the shallow lines that I'm drawing. Ooh, that's a good one. Giving is quite useless. Pretty sure yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So that message should be set for a longer gap. And then I can have a different message set for other gaps. I think that works. I think this is actually fine. I don't want to overdo it. And I didn't do anything really on the ends, but that's fine. Yeah, let's see if I can find one more in my reference. There, there's a little corner crack. This will go down here. Split, go this way. And this will just go down. Great. Look at those cracks. Satisfying. Tweezers. Because I think the way I set up Nightbot is that it responds after X time, after X lines. This Warhammer is a roleplay version. Is more about story and exploration, growth of PC than big battles. I just need something darker, like in grim fairy tales, than epic story fantasy. Hey, I feel you. Epic fantasy can only go so far in satisfying people. That's cool that the roleplay version of Warhammer. I feel like that will make battles more, if battles pop up, they matter more. Okay. Going deep into these cracks. Just gotta make them deeper. Add some more love and care. Also, you mentioned this, Sneaky, the 8 or 9 viewers, right? Something that can get really diluted in the universe of comparing numbers is like you'll see big streams where they'll have like 20 to 40,000 people, right? That's a lot. To have more than 5 people on your chat or just watching, that's a big deal. That's a good sized group of people that care about what you're doing. And I'm really proud and excited about that. Not to say you were saying anything little about that number, but I know that some people can see that number and go, that low number, and think, oh, that's not that good. It's like, no, it's just small and intimate and different. And that too, you know, Chance, you bring up a good point that it's hard to talk to people. If the chat got, not just the chat, but the viewership got super high, then the intimacy and the interaction between me and chat will change. And Murphy, you great point, you know. Everyone starts somewhere. Who knows how big this can get? How many people can be entertained by me carving foam, trying to just make one set of dungeon tiles across weeks and weeks of time? The answer is only the future knows. But to be fair, when I started, see, Nightbot thinks this is a lot of chatter. Nightbot needs to get tweaked. When I started doing the crafting off camera, I was like, I do want to share this, but I don't want to make crafting videos because the goal is not to make videos, but the goal is to actually just spend the time crafting. So streaming made sense. When I started streaming this, I was like, I'm probably not going to get anyone to watch this. The fact that you guys are all watching blows me away. Surprises me. That's my crafting level. Maybe a 4 out of 100. I'm probably under qualifying myself there. I don't know, I feel like I've gotten way better. I think I've gotten better on a technical side. Like, knowing how to achieve technically what I'm looking to do. But I'm definitely not at the phase of like, or the craftsmanship of like, look at a piece of junk and go, I know exactly how to make a thing out of that, and I know what thing I want to make out of that. I can't wait to get the popsicle sticks too. That way I have a full set of interior D&D rooms. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you're able to stumble by. And I'm extremely glad that how I choose to make my content is helping you. Your D&D character ended up with amnesia and cannot recollect what happened before she joined the party, and she found wanted posters with her face. Oh, that's so good. That's super cool. Better watch than a lot of those 5-minute craft videos. Zero use of or need for most of the stuff they come up with. That's another thing, right? Like, it's an economy, video making. And a big reason why creators get burnout is because they've dried up the well of their creativity. And when you're just making videos for the sake of making videos, you'll burn out quick. And when a crafting channel's like, you could do this, you could do this, and like, yeah, I could. Like, are you using those still? Are you thinking long term with the things that you're crafting and making? This was not in history of my character. My DM created it. That's cool. That's actually a cool kind of like shared relationship you got with your DM. Yeah, I see people make stuff just for the sake of making it sometimes for videos. And then I don't see them like sharing. Like in the sense of like sharing posts of like, hey, we're playing D&D today and we're using the things that I made on the channel. Which when I started trying to think about making these into streams, I was like, oh, the things that I'm painting and making can be stuff that goes on the channel. So no one really does that. No one does, like, I'm making this for something coming up. I guess it's a little bit spoilery. And it is. There's a few things that I try to not put on this because of spoilers. But those are like super like niche things. But how cool is it? Like, you guys can watch me build this hunk of junk, and you can eventually, once I photo scan it and put it on Etsy, you can pay a couple bucks, print it, have your own copy for your games, and you can watch a Fables game and see that this is being used in that too. There's kind of just like a cool relationship between us, the content being made, that I really like. Half of those 5-minute crafting videos are watch me make this really simple, useless thing in a really complicated way using the finger remover 5000. There are a lot of those. But to be fair, I watched a bunch of those to understand how I want to do these tiles for streams. Which is interesting because I know that there's a large supply of those videos. I'm gonna make some crushing with this handle instead this time. Ooh, interesting shapes. Like, those videos are helpful to spark imagination and ideas for people who don't have, I guess, the means to do this. I don't know. It could also be an era. Refinement, tin foil. My tin foil's missing, guys. Yeah, sometimes, a lot of times, a 5-minute video can spark creativity and imagination. Ah, there's my tinfoil. But a long form stream like this, going over the pieces, really can help instruct somebody who doesn't know how to start and to get through it. Plot hook point I have with my players will wake up in a storage prison in an old laboratory and eventually find out that they've been there for like a couple thousand years. Oh, holy cow. That's some world building. Hey, that's perfect. If it sounds like Portal, that means it's familiar, and that means it's easier for players to grasp. That's something I've learned a lot as a DM. Is if you can... Or the Matrix, yeah. Whenever you're able to do something that's similar to something else, that is easy to recall, like, hey, we're going to kind of do a Matrix thing, and you surprise it with players, they'll start going, wait, is this the Matrix? Are we in the Matrix? Like, that kind of thinking, or is this Fallout? Is this Portal? If they start thinking that, that's good. That means they are figuring it out. Even if it's not that, maybe if it's just something close, it's still a good thing. That means their brains are on the right direction. Chimney? A half-eaten cookie? We're either dealing with Santa Claus or a hungry burglar that is pretending to be a chimney sweeper. They're gonna find a totally different world. That's cool. Something that Zelda game, I forget which one it is, does really well is that you as a player start in the world, you see it and can kind of slightly interact with it. Oh, Fallout 4 does it too. You spend some time interacting with the world prior to its destruction, or to that before the apocalypse. I'm just assuming your game is the apocalypse for the sake of this. And what that allows is that when they wake up in the new world, the player has contact points in their brain of what is different. Because if they didn't experience a world prior, this is not the characters, the players. If the players don't experience a world prior, then they haven't woken up into a new world. They've just woken up. Consider that. Imagine he just fails on the perception check. I've actually been leaning more and more into group checks for that very reason. So if I ask the party to start doing perception checks, I'm just doing group checks where it doesn't really matter about the individual. It matters as like your set of eyes and set of ears pick up this thing. So as long as the majority of the table succeeds, the group succeeds. And that really helps the stumbling narration of like, you'll eventually see it. Or you don't see it, but everyone else sees it. And then you're just making a player sit out of the thing. And if the whole group doesn't see it, I can more easily stroke a narrative to say that why you don't see it. Nightbot, you gave me a new thing. Is that a clickable link in the chat? It sure is. That's awesome. This way it's more memorable for players to play something and then create and recreate by DM rather than the popular campaign that is just play through like Mines of Vandella. Yeah. That is true. And there lies a hard part about pairing adventures for fables. I think I'm going to talk about that in the next podcast, which is available to patrons. That Nightbot is now starting to spam. So now I am just making sure my lines look nice before I make that a crater. That's pretty good. Make sure everything looks good before priming. Gotta get rid of these flakes. There we go, we kind of have a triangle, guys. We have a full triangle. We just put up next to, and we have a corner of a room. One party member might just have been really antisocial before the whole event. I do, if a single player wants to roll something, that's fine. But if I'm asking for rolls, I'm pretty much asking for a group check. Unless the player character is separate from the rest of the party. In which case, I might still do a group check, but the player that's separate will get a different bit of information than the rest. Oh, the malt wine turned out freaking great. I had some for lunch too. What time? How long have I been streaming? Okay, then 2 hours. It's because I started an hour late. The whole time is different. Where's the bridge? Bridge looks great. Let's prime this triangle. Yeah, that wine batch is, I think, the 4th batch I've ever made. Getting really good at it. Especially when you think about the last 2 brews have been the same year. The first 2 were 1 year apart. So it's really hard to compare those. You ever do a group check where everyone succeeds, but because of their background, they all get different information? I have not yet. No, that's not true. I have. I've done it once. If, like, one of my players is a goblin. So if I think a goblin would spot this more than anyone else because of the culture of goblins in my world, I'd give that to them. If one of my players is an assassin, things that have to do with assassiny things, they would catch that. But in the group check, it would still be a group check where everyone's rolling for it, and then I'll be like, you pick this up, you pick that up, you pick this up, and you pick that up. If I have enough clues for the thing that I'm wanting them to check, then yes. Otherwise, if it's a simple thing, it's just broadly speaking. And I look forward to seeing how they react from that, and that gives me information to move forward with too. Or put players into labyrinth and give players hints that can escape, but they need to find out how. It's a monster that is a guardian. I've done one maze, and I tried to do something mechanically where it's like it takes the agency away from players, because I was like, I'm gonna show you the maze, you're allowed to metagame and like know which way to go, but I have a dice mechanic that takes your agency away to say that your character and your choice does not align, because a maze is confusing. And that didn't play well. Everyone got through it. Yeah, mazes and labyrinths, I do want to experiment more with. But they're apparently very, very hard to do in tabletop. Thankfully, everyone was really chill with the dice mechanic. Group meets the local lord. One player knows he has a great general in the last war. Another player is a former pirate. Yeah, I mean, I'd still do a group check because I want to include all the players in the activity. The results may vary. Don't necessarily know that their background. You could give them information that would make them start wondering, why do I know this? Yeah. Definitely could do that too. That's a good one. And to some degree, I'm doing that with my players right now. And I'm in a situation where I can hand that, like, laying the breadcrumbs out through another player. revealing information that everyone else gets a little confused about, because that's not the narrative that we all have agreed on so far. What has changed? But then even more and more and more breadcrumbs come together. You're like, what we know is a truth, but maybe not the truth. And then they wonder, why do we know the thing that we know and not the thing that everyone else knows? I watch I watched Maze Runner movie. It was great. Maybe and a Minotaur to PC character. Is PC or NPC? I like the idea of a Minotaur as a PC. Especially if you get if you think about what culture the Minotaur would have come from and what deity that culture would have worshipped and why. For example, Minotaurs and beast folk have, at least in my world, they deal with a lot of bestial slaughtering and killing deities because predators. And those predators have very rage-like instincts, savagery instincts. And it's like, oh, as a player, you could be a good guy. You could be as good as you want. But when it comes down to the culture, why does the culture believe that? Because there's some inherent truth to it when it comes to the people and how they behave. So you can always world build off of that. And right there is a path to clues and learning more information. Minotaur have maze knowledge. That's another thing. So a Minotaur, why does a Minotaur have maze knowledge, you know? You and I know, but why does the Minotaur have maze knowledge? Is it a thing in their culture that they build mazes? Is it an ancient story like Hercules? This one Minotaur was stuck in a maze. Do they use mazes as a rite of passage for Minotaurs? And therefore they're really good at like thinking through that type of a puzzle because they've been training for that for a long time growing up. Now you're world building while also giving reason to why players can do cool things. That's why I've never really been on the bandwagon of like people always saying, well, why are when you think of races in fantasy, why are goblins this way? Why are orcs this way? Why are dwarves this way? Why can't they be something else? Well, of course they can. But however you design a creature isn't inherently all of them. It's just this is default what their society and culture provides them. Some more strength. Because they're strong people and they work hard. So they get a +1 to their strength. The Minotaurs maybe compete every generation to receive the honor of becoming a guardian for a maze that has been created by some of other society. Yeah. Or maybe to add to that, whatever that society was made a deal with the Minotaurs to have them be guardians. And there's mazes across different continents. And when a Minotaur dies, they have to do that. You can also have the generational one. So there, if you can retire as a guardian, you have a special place in Minotaur society. If you die as a guardian, you go to a special place, just like for Vikings, Valhalla is for warriors, while Hell is for other people. This is good brainstorming, guys. A mythical ancestor was imprisoned and escaped, and now all young Minotaurs are put in mazes and need to escape as a rite of passage. There you go. That's interesting. And that feels like a source of trauma that all Minotaurs share. And why are they monsters of mazes? Because they had to survive it. And other people see that as like straight up, like they're monsters. They come from mazes, and they think negative of it. Hey, now you got some interesting dynamics. Scratching my elbow. Wanted Nightbot to occasionally update the runtime of the stream. So it's like, hey, you've been streaming, the stream has been going on for like an hour. I really wanted that, but apparently Nightbot only does that on Twitch. Which is a bummer. I think that's the best feature of Nightbot. Ah. Shot water in my face. Okay. I'm gonna dry brush this bridge, and I think that would be the last thing for the stream. So, Dudgeon Gray. I got some editing I gotta get done, and I want to record another episode of the Backer podcast. Plus, Allie's got to film, and she can't film while I'm streaming. Looks pretty cool. Dungeon. Ash. Rites of passage are interesting topic in culture. Ritualistic structure, yep. Some remnants of it in the modern world, like weddings, yeah. Weddings are very much a rite of passage. More so... it's kind of a complex one. It's not just like for the bride. You could say it's for the bride, but the act of proposal is very much a passage for the groom, which has been swapped out. There's a rite of passage for fathers to like carry down the bride. Yeah, it's a complex one, but it's definitely a rite of passage. I always like the idea of a rite of passage for dwarves is to go climbing and hiking deep into the mountains. And it's like they have to survive on rations in like the worst rocky underground terrain. And they have to go to the highest peak of the deepest dungeon and carve their name on the wall next to their forefathers and foremothers. I would like that idea. Always imagine that one. Initiation event. Rite of passage for new people in a group. Yeah. I mean, that's the point of a rite of passage, right? In general. Like, time. A good example is frats. Frat houses have initiations. But in modern culture, like, your first job is a rite of passage. Not really a ritual, but it feels like it is. Mass Effect 2 with the Kragan right. We also have Eva story in Mass Effect 3. She was kind of a shaman for Kragan. It's true. rust goes last. Let's do the blue. Help give it its like luminance look. I'm glad I got Nightbot set up because I can see all the errors and the things I want to improve on. Dude, this just went out of focus. Look at that double stack Nightbot. Get a little bit of a glow effect from this. Okay. Grab some more green. Hide it in a bit. Great. Just being careful enough not to get too much paint, too many colors into the cracks. That way it just lives right on the edge. there. So something I've been consistently doing on the set is that on the sides we have this like dripping orange down the lines, right? Whereas the top, it has more of a luminescent blue vibe with dabs of orange in there. And that really stands out with this single 1 inch by 1 inch. Like gnomes and inventor societies. Yeah, I like to think of gnomes as kind of like short half-elves. And halflings, I think, often like short humans. Obviously, you can make a short human if you want, but why not make them fantastical? In the sense of like, in a fantasy world, why limit a short human person to just being a short human person? Why not give them something special? Right? And when I like it when I think of gnomes as being half elves, the short, I think then of like Christmas elves, cookie elves, and how they have to invent and craft and work on. And then I can also see them having like good cultural relationships with dwarves. Dwarves are great mason workers, while carpentry really belongs to gnomes culturally. And they have a good respect between each other because of that. And in that case, rolling as a group, a gnome would catch stuff about dwarven culture that others wouldn't. Alright, this is gonna be the blend. Top gray, basically. Alright. So you really can tell which side is up, which is also helpful. Pretty cool. Single bridge. Let me show you guys the magnetic bridge test, and that'll be the stream. So if you have any speed round questions, toss them in the chat. So here it is, the magnetic bridge test. Now that the glue has dried. I actually see more value in less than a bridge that can break or get put together. I see more value in the fact that this is rotating. Like there's something interesting here, like a tactile puzzle or something. I see that as very potent and interesting. Potent? Don't know if that's the right word. They're great gardeners. Halfling druids are very powerful, mechanically speaking, so you'll have a lot of fun. Yeah, that's gonna be it, guys, for today. Thank you so much for hanging out for a few hours. I'm not starving, which is great, because I ate right before the stream, which delayed it, but I think it's a good call. We got a bridge done. I'm gonna put this over with the rest of the pile. I gotta start gluing these bottoms, but I'll glue the bottoms once these are photo scanned. So yeah, I'll start figuring out that photo scan process since we're getting there real soon. And we're gonna see what the first page of the downloadable PDFs are gonna look like that way. Because that first page is gonna define kind of your guys' expectations of what to expect for the rest of the pages. Both cost and what you get for the cost. So, it's good to know. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I'll see you probably Thursday. And I'm gonna go record another backer podcast, so get ready for that. Alright, guys.